Hi, everyone, and welcome back to series two of Coaching Conversations with Bukky, where we look at leaders within and beyond education who talk about the impact of coaching within their professional lives. I am so delighted today to welcome Bianca. So, before we even get into the conversation, Bianca, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Yeah, hi, I'm Bianca Greenhalgh. I am currently working within a special educational needs trust as an executive head teacher and a school improvement lead across the trust. I've had many years before that. I was in mainstream education and a head in mainstream and moved into the SEND sector, which I'm loving.
Yeah, ditto. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. So, first of all, let me just ask, what made you decide to receive coaching?
I'm quite reflective as an individual.
Hmm.
And I truly believe that coaches create a space, a structured space to sort of challenge my thinking, to help me with my own personal growth. And it's good to have that sounding board because I think when you are self-reflective, there's also there's sometimes that risk that that self-reflection can sort of tip into being self-critical. And so, therefore, coaching, I feel, gives a framework and a safe space to be able to share your challenges and also celebrate your successes and your achievements.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. How do you define coaching?
Well, coaching to me is about creating a space where somebody is asking you questions that help you to realize that your ideas and your thoughts that you already have. They're there. You've got your own toolkit. Sometimes you just need a bit of a steer
Hmm.
to work through solutions to get you to the place that you need to be. And coaching's really great for that.
Okay, thank you so much. And so when you decided to receive coaching, what criteria did you use to help you choose a particular coach?
Word of mouth. And certainly
Mm,
because I'd already, obviously being in the world of edu Twitter, and as a result of that, have met some incredible women and female leaders, and I'm part of Women Ed, so I'm a network lead for Women Ed. So it was about somebody that I already knew in that sphere,
yes.
and whose values aligned with mine, and somebody that I've already felt safe with.
And talking about, again with Twitter, I completely agree. And I think the benefits of actually, like operating on Twitter or X as it's now called,
Yes,
is
of
the
course.
fact that you can actually see people in action as well. And I think reinforces what you know of them and how that might transpire in terms of the coaching relationship you set up with them as well.
Absolutely. And what it's enabled me to do is actually have a range of coaching
Mm,
spaces. So I have embarked on coaching as an individual, so having that one-to-one coaching, but also signed up to coaching programs.
oh,
Um,
right.
so,
Okay.
so, so group coaching.
Yes. Okay.
Uh,
Do you have a preference for either, or does it depend on the context in which the coaching's being undertaken?
I like both. I think they add value, don't they? The one-to-one is about developing you as an individual and what the areas of challenge that you want to focus on and find solutions to those. Being in a coaching group coaching situation actually helps you develop alongside other people,
Yes.
and it gives you almost I don't, tribe's probably the wrong word, but that sort of that space where you create that group situation.
Yes.
And actually, the coaching course that I was on, in particular, we are still in touch. So
Mm.
it creates that sort of space where, or that group where you can take that forward,
Hmm.
and actually form some really good relationships and a real sense of support there. Um,
Hmm.
need
I
it.
totally understand and agree. And I think what's also powerful is that there's a shared sense of the experience, a similar type of journey as well, which I think would reinforce the bond between you as, with individuals within that particular group setting.
Absolutely, and also actually a diverse range of people.
Hmm.
Ours was a very diverse group. So some people in education and not. So being able to learn from others, who are, because education is a bit of a bubble, isn't it?
It
You know,
can feel
in
like that
in, in
sometimes.
many in many ways. And have, and it is very different to, to sort of more private sector,
Yes.
public sector and private sector, and so having another perspective from
Mhm.
another industry
Yeah, I think
is
it's very
quite
powerful.
really helpful. And yeah,
I
in fact,
agree. I
mm,
agree. So are you happy to share some of the impacts? I know you touched upon the fact that, it provides you with a safe space, it gives you
yeah.
opportunity to reflect in a meaningful way without teaching over the edge. Are you happy to share what impact you have, like the impact of coaching in terms of your professional development?
Absolutely. So I did have a coach in a period of adversity.
Mm,
So it helped me get through that. It helped me manage my own well-being,
okay.
and to frame certain situations differently,
Okay.
as a result of that coaching. And it got me through that particular period to then sort of come out the other side. And that was when I then embarked on a group coaching,
Oh, I see.
which then really helped me, because it's the same coach. So then really helped me to really look at all aspects of my life, because that's the
Mm,
journey that we were taken on, sort of
okay.
as a whole, which helped me to really think about what my next steps were going to be. And as a
Mhm.
result of that, having left a role, I went into another similar role
Okay.
at a point that I wasn't sure I was going to. And actually, as part of my career, I've moved from head to executive head, and my journey is continuing. There are further development opportunities potentially coming up, and that's really exciting.
That's really good. Thank you for sharing that. And I also know you shared as well about the fact that you undertake coaching as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I've always really valued coaching, and actually, I remember there was a period of time when I was working in a school, and I oversaw teaching and learning and appraisal and curriculum and sort of that quality of education bit. And what I was really interested in was developing a coaching culture.
Yeah.
So that the appraisal process was about creating space to enable people to take risks, to
Hmm.
think about the impact they wanted to have
Hmm.
through their approaches and their pedagogical approaches, in a safe space where they could then take risks and be creative, and really utilizing those more experienced teachers to be able to support and to help develop so that sort of collaborative leadership approach within the school. I
I
was told
love that.
I was told at the time that I was being quite brave. This was pre some of the coaching models that we have
Oh,
now.
you now.
It was a
Oh,
few years ago. So
right.
so it wasn't, because actually to create a coaching culture in a school at that point wasn't something that we were talking about
Hmm.
um, so much. So you're gonna have to repeat the question, Bookie.
No, no, no.
I've
About
lost my thread.
yeah, no, I know, yeah, I know what you're saying. It's about, sorry, Bianca. It's about the coaching that you helped to set up.
Yes, so therefore, over time, because I've been so passionate about coaching as personal and school development and school improvement tool, as a
Hmm.
result of that, I have then therefore been involved in coaching training over time, and I've been introduced to lots of different models. Um, I am now doing my own coaching qualification, and it is linked to ILM. So it has that accreditation to it. And whilst I know it's not essential to have
Mm.
qualification, on a personal level, in terms of my own confidence and credibility and integrity, really, to work within a framework that I know I have been supported through to develop my own coaching style
Hmm.
within an ethical model.
Yes, I think the ethics, making sure you're doing the right things,
Yeah,
and being sure that it's because of the knowledge rather than the best intentions, because sometimes our best intentions
quite.
can cause
Yeah, and
unintended
as
harm.
absolutely, and as an individual, I am passionate. I am passionate about developing other people,
Yeah,
and what it's helping me to do is stop talking sometimes, because when people get stuck sometimes within coaching, it's when you've got the experience, and you can kind of you can almost see that scenario as something you've been through yourself.
of course,
You've got a solution, or you've got a range of solutions,
of course.
and therefore it's helping me to just, because I do listen, but it's helping me
Hmm.
stop responding quite so quickly
Hmm.
and creating that space for the individuals to work it through themselves.
Talking of that though, Bianca, does that I mean, have you ever had situations in which you have been required to provide mentoring where people want to hear your experiences, your advice, your guidance? Is that something that interests you? Is that something you've been involved in, or are you strictly preferring the coaching methodology?
Well, I like the blended approach
Yes.
personally because actually, people do get stuck, and and you do offer, it's useful to offer, a range of solutions for them to then think about and then select the one that works for them potentially and try it out. And it's certainly the approach that I prefer as a coachee as
Mm,
well. Because yes, all the solutions are, but sometimes we're just so tired. We want somebody to give us something, something that we can work with.
yes.
And yes, absolutely, as a mentor, as a line manager, and through leadership dialogue meetings, over time, supporting and developing people within their role, helping shape and model,
Yes.
ways forward, and structure that so that people have then got that platform. Because I'm a firm believer that, as a leader, I have ideas. I have a kind of, this is what I think, this is kind of what I'm thinking about.
Hmm.
What I like to do is nurture individuals to grow within that journey towards where we're going in terms of school improvement. And more often than not, what happens is they end up taking it a lot further than I had even imagined that it
Exactly.
could
And in
be,
different directions, yes,
because of
enhancing
their
it.
own talents.
Yes.
And because of what they bring to the table. So yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Mentoring is really important.
Hmm.
So I do prefer a blended model. Obviously, for the purposes of my qualification, I will need to do evidence and pure coaching.
Of course, of course. But I
Um,
think it's important just to highlight about the fact that within the contracting setup as well, that the option for mentoring is there. Because many of the many of the leaders that I actually coach opt for the blended approach as well, So it's really interesting.
yeah,
I also like the fact that with the coaching setup, the scenario that like you said, that, in the schools you're in, even before it was like a thing, you were coaching, you're trying to set up a coaching culture that enabled, like your staff to take ownership of
yeah.
their learning and an ownership of the direction in which they wanted their professional development to come in, which I think is so empowering as
Oh,
well.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant to hear. Okay, so I have a penultimate question actually for you. What advice would you give to, say, like any CEO, any senior manager that is unsure about the value of coaching?
I would present a very strong case that coaching is the direction to go to develop people, to create teams, because the power of the team around any sort of school improvement
Mm-hmm.
project, and empowering individuals to embrace school improvement strategy in a way that they can own it.
Yes.
And it is, I would absolutely encourage that to any CEO or leader, within a school setting, or beyond.
Okay, no, thank you. And as I said, penultimate question, is there anything else you'd actually like to share before we wrap up for today?
Um, oh,
I took you by surprise with that one.
is there anything I'd like to share? Yeah, I tell you what, if people are on the fence about coaching, because I have come across people that have been on the fence about coaching, I would say give it a go. Just give it a go, because sometimes, or if somebody's had a negative experience of coaching,
Yes, yes.
then give it another go. Because
Hmm.
I really firmly believe that one of the important bits about a coaching partnership is having that chemistry that works,
Absolutely, yes.
and being okay with saying, actually, this is, from coach and coachee,
Hmm.
thank you very much for your time.
Hmm.
I'm not sure I want to take this forward,
Yes,
because it's not right,
yes,
because it's not the right coaching for me. But do seek out somebody that might be, because we all approach things differently. We all connect differently.
very true.
So don't give up on it as a concept and an idea. Certainly give it a go.
Bianca, thank you so much. I really appreciate your insights and your time with me today. And thank you for everyone that's actually tuned in to this particular episode. Please make sure that you join in with the next episode coming up soon. Bye.